first map of the day will be played on Akilon Wastes, spawning up in the top left-hand position from STX Seoul as the Red Terran. His name is Innovation.
His opponent, an OSL winner, now playing in Stracraft 2 against Innovation, playing for CJ Entus. His name is effOrt. Spawning as a blue Zerg on the right bottom position.
I noticed we didn't have any little intro there. They kind of skipped that out on us. We didn't know what to expect, but hey, it's not there. Whatever.
We don't get the cues.
We don't get the cues. They don't have flashcards or like Morse code or anything they can communicate to us with.
And also we're in a different venue, so
yeah,
it's kind of hard to communicate with those guys out there, especially if they're not our company.
Yeah, just a little bit. But we do our best, regardless, to show you some good Pro League games with some commentary. Awesome always to see some foreigners out here in Korea, Seoul, of course, watching some good old StarCraft.
So gas and barracks for Innovation, so little different from what we've been seeing from him in Pro League, because he really likes to go for the 15cc first. effOrt, he's going to go for 15 hatch, you know, really standard play by Zerg players these days, going for the hatchery first. And I have to say, for effOrt to go 15 hatch first, it's pretty much the right build to do against Innovation, who likes to go for the command center first.
Yeah, definitely. Innovation, one of the players that's known for very solid macro play all around. But this time, we're going to see him open up with the gas first opening, so I guess he wants to be a little bit more aggressive this time around.
Well, remember last time when Innovation played the TBC, he went for the really fast helmet drop.
Oh, that's true.
So we might be seeing that once again, but it really depends on what he decides to do after the first initial Reaper.
Yep, so he is building that Reaper right now. I mean, one of the advantages of going for that gas opening is that the Reaper is out so fast, and if the Zerg player goes for that hatch first, then it's a little bit annoying to deal with.
Oh yeah, you need a Queen's out to deal against with even the Zerglings. If the Terran player micros perfectly, before the speed comes up, it's hard to defend against it, and the first bunker goes down.
All right, and we also have a second Reaper following up here. And, oh, looks like, is it Sky High's birthday?
No, Sky High's 5th year debut in Pro League. So this is pretty much, actually it was yesterday, if you want to count it correctly, but they're celebrating today because, of course, today is the first day for Pro League.
Yeah,
there's CJ Entus after the 5th anniversary.
Yeah, no Pro League, and it's only one day off. All right, so the Reaper in the main base will scout what's going on here, does see those two Zerglings. And Innovation just going to be as annoying as possible with this Reaper. He's actually making a third Reaper behind this, so he really is going to commit to this pressure here. He wants to put do a good amount of damage essentially with this opening here.
Yeah, he pretty much wants some effort to overmake Zerglings instead of droning up heavily in the early game. However, since the Reapers aren't over there and with the Queens out, the bunker is going to go down, and the Reapers aren't going to do as much damage.
Yeah, effOrt actually handling this quite well here. He did have to invest a good amount of lava into these Zerglings early on, but the bunker was essentially killed before the second Reaper even got there, and that's going to make 3 Reapers a lot less dangerous to deal with that bunker, without that bunker support.
However, if he has 3 bunkers, then he could still scout around whenever he wants to, because there's only going to be 2 Queens. The speed is still not done, and Innovation, he's going to try his best to harass as much as possible.
One Reaper getting low there, barely surviving. Looks like it has 1 hit left on it. Luckily, in Heart of the Swarm, those Reapers have that amazing regeneration ability. So we do see it slowly regenerating, but again, getting very low, down to 3 health. And it looks like this harassment from Innovation is going to be held off for now. Now it looks like Innovation going into the factory tech, getting a tech lab on that barracks as well, and a fast third command center following this up.
But look at this effort, is going to scout everything.
Yeah, he sees everything, and you know what? Will this prompt
Wait a minute.
Oh.
Well, maybe he was already expecting a natural command center and saw that as the third, going for the third, because you're not going to put the command center over there if you're going to try to land it at the natural. So maybe he already knows that this is going to be the third command center, not the second command center.
Yep, that's you bring up a good point there. He probably has just assumed, all right, it looks like Innovation is just going for a fast third. And this Overlord over here will scout the other command center anyway, so not a big deal for effort. Looks like we have Innovation's Reaper moving in here, trying to get a little bit of scouting information on his opponent, seeing what's going on. Are you trying to all-in me? What are you doing here? And the Reaper will go into the natural as well, avoiding all of those Zerglings.
Scout the third base.
Nice, scouting third base, and the Reaper gets taken out the last second there.
Yeah, but it was a really cost-efficient Reaper because some players, back in Wings, you had to scan to see what the Zerg player was doing. So if you go for the Reaper early on in the game, then you know what the Zerg player is going for, and you don't have to waste any energy on the scan. So now you just have more minerals to yourself. And that's why this opening is so strong for the Terran players against, I have to say, any race, really, against Protoss, against Zerg, and even against Terrans.
Yeah. The follow-up, though, a little bit different here. We have some Hellions out on the battlefield right now. There's still 2 Reapers in this army. It looks like Innovation, he wants to be a little bit aggressive with this, or at least have some type of map control here, but not really opting to doing too much with this unit composition here.
Yeah, he's just going to try to see if he can pick up a few Zerglings and try to deny creep spread as much as possible, because he can't end the game with this composition. All he can do is take out these Zerglings, take over the tower, see if my opponent's going for the counter all-in with massive amount of Zerglings. We've seen that a lot more recently, I have to say, with the Zerglings and the Banelings connecting before the Widowmines come out.
Yeah, that's true. We've seen just a heavier investment, essentially, into those units before the Spire tech. So I'm curious to see, will we see that from effOrt here? Widowmine getting activated there, so effOrt will know that Widowmines are out on the field. But right now, if you look at the production from effOrt, he has just been completely focusing on drones, more drones this game.
And he even confirmed that his opponent doesn't have that many units out at the natural with a single Zergling, so he's free to drone up as heavily as possible, go for the upgrades that he wants to, and all he has to do is start making units from this point on.
Yeah, look at this, another great scout from Innovation here. It looks like the Reaper will get taken out before it goes up into that main base, so it will not scout that Spire there. And the Spire timing, very important, because it does determine, all right, well, do I have to account for mutas at this time? Do I need to get the turrets up in time? Things like that. All right, so 14 Zerglings on the way. We're seeing more upgrades out of both players right now. Innovation starting to get his armory, getting ready for the +2/2, and really just focusing on his macro right now. We'll probably see the 3rd command center, get floated over to the 3rd base quite soon here, but effOrt will spot that.
Yeah, what I really liked about that Overlord scouting is effOrt. After he saw the 3rd command center, he said, well, I know he's not going to push out at all, so I'm just going to drone up heavily. And if you look at the economy, he was just droning up heavily. Now he's getting the upgrades out. He's going for the +2/+2 right now with the Baneling speed just finishing up, Spire finishing up. So Innovation, he didn't do as much damage as he hoped for as a Terran player earlier in the game, so he needs to start doing that once the first pair of Medivac comes out.
Looks like we have a bit of a surround here from effOrt, killing off a lot of Marines there. Actually, this is quite a cost-efficient trade for him because there's no Medivacs on the field yet, and I think some of them may have just joined that army, but not until those Zerglings already went ahead and did some good amount of damage there. So really just trying to, poke and prod wherever he can and get little, wins and victories where he can.
That also delays the Medivac harass timing from Innovation because now he doesn't have the main army back at the main base to defend against a possible counterattack if he decides to go for the Marine drop inside the main base or the natural. So now he can't do any harassment. He needs to move out with this whole entire army.
All right, looks like we have an engagement going on here. effOrt moving forward. Widowmine going down, but not doing a lot of damage. Banelings getting good connections with the Hellions here, and now Innovation actually doing a pretty good job here, splitting his Marines quite well. But effOrt certainly did get a decent trade there.
Definitely. Innovation's Widowmines weren't planted at all. I mean, the first one did detonate on some of the Zerglings, but the second one didn't burrow even in time. And look how many Marines he has right now. He doesn't have that much. Now the reinforcement arrives, and that's going to force effOrt to push back. But before that, effOrt's doing a really nice job cutting down Marine count one by one.
All right, Mutas flying into the 3rd here, trying to do a little bit of economic damage, sniping down those mules there, doing a pretty good job there, just being as annoying as possible. I think he lost 1 Muta there, and moving into the main base of the turret, it just barely finishes in time, so effOrt, though, doing a very nice job here, sniping off a few of those SCVs. Does lose a few Mutalisks, though.
Well, he does lose a few Mutalisks, but at the cost of pushing Innovation's main army back into the main base. That is something that you want to do as a Zerg player. Do not let the Terran player push out, and do not let the Terran player start planting Widow Mines all around the map. That's the #1 priority that effOrt has to do right now.
Innovation trying to gain a little bit of ground here, but I mean, as we can see from the supplies right now, our Zerg player is still ahead in the supplies. And Innovation, his 2-2 is just about complete here. I think that may prompt a bit of a push here from him. Also getting a 4th command center behind this, more Widow Mine production, and the Alligator Clips upgrade for those Widow Mines as well.
Yeah, but still, remember, at this point, he doesn't have that many Widow Mines around the field. I saw a maximum of 3 or 4, and 4 more are waiting inside the main base. So now Innovation needs to start gaining some cover around the map and start planting those Widow Mines in positions where he could actually engage into Zerg's army instead of just making this walk around. I mean, he needs to start planting, get some map coverage, and start engaging into Zerg's army, draw the army into the Widow Mines, and make sure those Zerglings are Widow Mines connect to the Zerglings.
Banelings burrowing there, but they are spotted in time, and you just got to be very careful there. Now, effOrt, he does have a very solid army at this point, up to 185 supply, and this medevac over here will be spotted, and the mutas are going to be able to clean that up quite easily there. And maybe one muta dies up. Looks like no mutas die even at all. And now Innovation moving up to the north there, trying to cut off the Zerg army, but effOrt, he's looking like he's getting ready to strike at Innovation's army here. The Widow Mines do burrow, and those Zerglings could get a lot of damage done to them, but the detonations go off. Widow Mines don't do a huge amount here, and it looks like effOrt has just completely routed Innovation's army.
Nice split by effOrt at the last second, trying to connect the Banelings to the Marines as much as possible while avoiding the Widow Mines. And also the medevac, the reason why it didn't do that much damage against the mutas before is because Innovation actually tried to get out of there by lifting up all the Marines into the medevac and suicided into the mutas at the last second. Innovation tried. It just didn't work out this time.
Well, Innovation, he is getting his 3-3. While we don't see the 3-3 quite yet from effOrt here, he is getting his Hive right now, but the upgrades will be behind his Terran opponent now. Some units moving over here to the other medevac, but will the Banelings connect? It looks like a few go off, but not an entirely cost-efficient trade there for effOrt.
And now he's just sending out a few Zerglings to see what his opponent is doing, but Innovation finally has the Widow Mine field that he wanted throughout this whole game, and now he's sitting on 4 bases. He's sitting comfortably with 4 base economy, and effOrt, he can't let the Terran player do it. He needs to do either one of two things: slowly cut down the army size of Innovation, or slowly deal damage against Innovation's economy. One of those two. He needs to start doing it while transitioning into Hive, getting the Ultras out for himself.
Yeah, I did notice that we had the Infestor Energy upgrade get researched, and now it's finished, so maybe we'll see some Infestors here from effOrt right now. He does have a lot of minerals and gas banked up right now, as we can see, but no, it looks like the Hive just finished. He is getting that Ultralisk Cavern down, like you mentioned, getting that 3-3 attack upgrade and getting the Adrenal Glands upgrade. Also looks like we have an amazing surround here from effOrt moving in here. Even though the Widow Mine connections are decent, they're just not enough. Once again, effOrt really just routing his opponent, essentially.
Yeah, he's just catching Innovation off guard when he's out of position, but now we have this one medevac going inside the 3rd base of effOrt. He needs to come back and defend against it, but he's on the other side of the map.
Yeah, the Widow Mine not yet burrowing there. The Spine Crawler is doing a good amount of a good job at delaying here, and the Muta's moving in once again. And it seems like this drop here actually doing a good amount of damage, but effOrt, he is applying a lot of pressure on Innovation's main base here. Good Widow Mine shots go off. They are going to damage this Mutaflock here, but effOrt is getting closer and closer to the Innovation's main with each attack here.
Yeah, and Innovation wasn't actually top of his micro when it comes to multitasking, because we saw Innovation going for the drop at the 3rd base. Yes, it did deal a lot of damage, but a lot of Marines and Marauders actually suicided into 2 or 3 Banelings at the left side, but those Zerglings, not so great.
No.
Not so great.
effOrt doing a good job sniping off a potential drop there, and now he's going to harass that 3rd base a little bit, but Innovation, he does have 2 turrets here and a few Marines. The Widow Mines, are they going to get taken out? One of them does get removed, but not the other one. That's going to force effOrt back, but the thing is, we have 3 Infestors on the way, 6 Ultralisks as well, and it looks like this third base is quite well defended. 2 Spores, 2 Spines, and that's only near the mineral line. And wow, the Medevac getting sniped out before it can even drop any units.
What I have to commend effOrt for keeping innovation inside his base for the entire game. And when he decides to move out, effOrt has enough army to surround the main Bioforce and actually kill it off right away. We've seen some Terran players trying to push out. The Zerg players try to defend against it, but they just don't have enough army because they allow the Terran player to sit on 3-base economy for such a long time. And now with the Ultras out, and effOrt, he could actually clean up this army easily.
effOrt, he does have the Ultras, will lose 1, but everything else will get taken out or forced back. But at the same time, effOrt moving Banelings to the 4th base, doing a good amount of damage, sniping off some units there. And we do have reinforcements here from Innovation. Widow Mines are going to connect, and they do a good amount of damage to those Ultras, but none of them die quite yet.
Yeah, and having only Ultras isn't the answer. I mean, Ultras, yes, they're quite strong. They are beefy, but they need some supporting units. So effOrt, he needs to wait until the reinforcement Zerglings come out and the Infestors come out for the Fungals.
All right, looks like effOrt moving in here. He feels like he can do a good amount of damage here. Nice Fungal Connect allows those Ultras to clean up most of this army, and once again, Innovation getting routed here with his main army, but there's another drop at that 3rd base there. But it looks like effOrt will be able to eventually clean it up, and I gotta say, man, effOrt is playing very good right now.
Yeah, I mean, Innovation, he was never able to touch effOrt's economy throughout the whole game. I mean, he decided to go for the drop at 1 base. Yes, it did run the drones away from the 3rd base, but he didn't kill as many drones as he hoped for.
All right, looks like this drop being relocated to the 3rd base, but you know what, man, effOrt, he's already ready, dude. He has been on top of his drop game the entire game. And this base, he did suffer a tiny bit of economic damage, but, you know, we haven't seen any hatcheries sniped. We haven't seen a huge amount of drones go down at all for effOrt at all. And, you know, look at this, man. He's already ready, even morphing in Banelings near those Medevacs, just saying, hey, man, I know what you're up to, and you can see this. I don't care. I am in such a solid position right now.
But also remember, effOrt hasn't been able to touch Innovation's economy as much as possible. We already have Innovation taking a 5th base, and now the situation has reversed. effOrt, he wants to push out on the map because he has the high gas units, he has the Ultras and the Infestors, but he can't because Innovation is keeping on this pressure inside the 3rd base and inside the main base.
Oh, this Ultralisk not in the best position right now, gets quickly taken out. Widow Mine's doing a lot of good amount of damage to these Ultras, and it looks like the Innovation not microing this army well enough. We will probably see 1 or 2 more Ultras go down, but no, it looks like Innovation opts to back up and try to continue this drop harassment here. But the biggest problem for Innovation right now is that the drops, they're doing some damage, but they're not really doing a huge amount of damage, and we have 5 Broodlords out on the way for effOrt right now.
Yeah, but he's doing a really nice job keeping these Ultras inside the main base. You know, when was the last time you saw these Ultras actually cross the halfway on this map? Never. That's what Innovation is doing such a great job with these medevac drops, and he's even going for the counterattack, but now the Broodlords are out and Innovation needs to start pulling out of there. He doesn't have any answer against effOrt's composition.
2 amazing Fungals go down there, going to allow those Ultras and the Broodlords to easily finish off this army composition, but effOrt, he needs to worry about that drop in the main base because the Greater Spire getting quite low on health here. It's getting focus fired down. We do have some Ultras moving in here, and oh no, the Spire, it's only at 46 health right now, and it could have easily been taken out if Innovation had just decided to micro that a little bit better.
I have to say, Innovation is playing, he knows how to play this game, but his micro isn't on top today.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing his best to drop, but in his engagements, effOrt is beating him. And actually, these Broodlords are going to get surrounded here and taken out quite easily. Where are the rest of effOrt's units here? This is actually a big mistake by him. He essentially donated 5 Broodlords for free.
Yeah, he was actually anticipating a huge drop at the right side after seeing the medevac, and all of his units were over there, and some out of position for additional drops. However, the Broodlords, they were rallied wrong in the middle of the map, and Innovation did pick it up for free. Now, I did mention that Innovation's micro, the small micros, weren't on top of his game today, but his macro has been fantastic. I haven't seen him actually go up to 1K. Later in the game, he just wastes all of these medevac units inside the main base, inside the 3rd base. And what does he do after he loses the army? Just remake them right after. So what effOrt really needs to do is start crippling Innovation's economy to make sure he doesn't have the 100% macro mode that Innovation loves to do.
All right, well, we do see Innovation moving towards the 5th base, the 3rd, and the main at the same time. effOrt attacking this 5th base from Innovation here. He will be able to easily take out that expansion. The Ultras are going to be able to clear out the damage at the 5th base, but the problem is, okay, no, it looks like effOrt was able to defend his main base. There's still a few units at that 3rd base there, or sorry, the 4th base, and they're doing some damage here. But, I mean, at the same time, effOrt has dealt a good amount of economic damage to Innovation as well. So I would have to say a decent trade overall for Innovation. He is slightly behind in supply, but I feel like the Terran player is slowly running out of resources.
Yeah, effOrt's doing a really nice job just making sure he hits where it hurts.
Oh, the Ultras getting a lot of free shots off there. The Widow Mines will connect, but some of them are, it looks like, okay, they will hit and eventually take out more of those Ultras, but, I mean, like you mentioned, man, Innovation, he's just not been on top of his micro game today.
And Innovation is doing a nice job, you know, dropping inside the main base, killing few buildings here and there, but he's still allowing effOrt to mine from all these bases, something that he wasn't able to prevent throughout this whole game. We have this, you know, huge death space on the right side of the 5th base on the left top corner. He could actually go for the attack, and if he drops some Marines there and focus fires on the drones, he could deal a crucial economic damage against effOrt, but he's not doing that right now.
Also, look at the worker count right now. It's 41 SCVs, the 56 drones, but now Innovation, he's moving in here. He sees a moment of weakness in effOrt's economy. effOrt has to move back with a lot of his drones, and this hatchery will most likely go down. We have a few fungals going off here. They're not going to really be able to grab too many units there, getting a good amount of medevacs, but the splits here from Innovation and the Widow Mine should be able to deal with those banelings quite easily, and now the Ultras are getting very low on health as well, and all of a sudden, effOrt is finding himself in a very awkward position. He is getting pretty far behind in supply right now, and these reinforcements here, they're not going to be able to deal with Innovation's army.
Like I said, Innovation's macro is still on top of his level today, and the problem is effOrt wasn't able to macro well while he's having these amazing engagements and amazing micro, is that he hasn't been able to cut up his opponent's economy just like Innovation, and all of a sudden now effOrt, he's in a situation where he doesn't have enough minerals, he doesn't have enough army to engage his, and he's down half the supply of Innovation.
I think this may be it for our CJ Zurich player here. Now, effOrt, he did an amazing job earlier on in the game at defending against these drops, doing a good amount of damage, but the tenacity of Innovation, he has just been able to stay in this game, constantly drop. He just drop, and eventually it started to do a good amount of damage, and we saw the cracks in effOrt's play, and there it is, GG. Game 1 goes to Innovation from STX Seoul over effOrt.
Yeah, and also losing few Ultras in the middle of the map while going for the Widow Mines and the Marines. If he just saved up his main army and went for the 200 army attack once again, then he would have actually taken the game easily. Since Innovation, he was down to his last mining base. He was trying to retake the 5th base, but it was under fire. So if those Marines and the medevacs at the last engagement, if those were taken out, then effOrt was going to be in solid position to take the game.
Yeah, another thing I want to point out is effOrt essentially threw away 5 Broodlords, and you know what? We didn't see a single Viking that game.